Good evening, folks. Welcome to another session from the Wise Asylum. Very important week indeed, and this is going to be an interesting one if I can put it together correctly. Of course, it's all in my head, and I have to just try and pull it in an order that makes sense, because watching the inauguration, I have to say, the greatest speech you could ever imagine, because it was sense. It was everything the inner Christ in you would accept as sound. It was just so everything you need to hear. And I mean, if anybody disagrees with that, that's fine, you're allowed to disagree with that, but perhaps you need to recognise that you're actually a fruitcake. What I'm not saying is, oh my God, I love Donald Trump, I want to support him for the rest of his days. Because of course, here at the Wise Asylum, we understand that all these people are just talking heads and they're all players for a script. But there's a huge ritual being begun here, and it's another trauma ritual, like JFK was a trauma ritual. You know, he outpoured everything everybody wanted to hear as he took office and then into his administration. The further he went in his administration, the more sense, the more information in tune with your inner soul did he move to profess and moved to act on. Okay? Exciting everybody in America, but more importantly, everybody in the world, because America is the global leader. Whether it be you like it or not, it's irrelevant whether you like America or not. I happen to love America. I love everything about America because it's the closest things to freedom that you can get to what England once was. And it's got nothing to do with race, it's got nothing to do with anything apart from the fact that England gave us freedom. It gave us freedom and it enshrined it in law. And America, the 13 colonies, they took that on. And they improved on it somewhat also. Because they made it available to anybody that could educate itself to a certain point. Of course, in England, the way it started, it was basically for the hoity-toits. The run-of-the-mill peasantry couldn't understand it, let alone try and use it. But in America, they moved it a step further and made it available to anybody that could actually read and write and work it out. So America, I love. The culture of America, I love because of its freedom. I'm not interested in the fact that with freedom comes the ability for idiots to build things and get... That's just the double-edged nature of allowing people to be who they are within certain parameters. And the inauguration speech on the 20th by Donald Trump was perfect. It hit every single sensibility that anybody that's got sensibility and some bit of decorum within them, you could not help but resonate with it. But of course that's deliberate. It's deliberate because again, they're building up and putting out into the world the hope that everybody is looking for. And it's the most powerful nation and man on the planet, so-called. Okay. So that resonates with everybody. Now, in the same way with JFK, that's exactly what they did and allowed in that situation. And then cut it off. And that creates such a trauma. Because it's the most powerful office or in the public and the most powerful nation by fact of physicality. And to cut it off, like they did, traumatises everybody because at that point, not only do you realise, oh my God, all hope, that we put in these people that we shouldn't do anyway to move things in our direction, there's something beyond and above that position that really has the power. And it's traumatic. And in that trauma, people become defunct, unable to do anything, to think straight, certainly unable to move. And that's when the real play, the agenda that they're really wanting to push on the back of that, gets shoved in. And that's while everybody's in trauma. Same after World Wars. The trauma that's embedded itself in all the nations that were involved in it is so vast that the minute that they've ended the trauma, that's when they shoved the stuff in. Prime example, 1945, they shoved the NHS, the social system, Bolshevism. And then created a generation of people that needed the arse wiping. And it created such a selfish, subconscious, that my generation, Generation X, had to bring ourselves up. Because they didn't give a shit. That's how they play this game. On the back of JFK, Vietnam took a leap. Everything else that we know that happened after JFK's death You know, they shove it in. The next real trauma event was 9/11. 9/11 was a massive traumatic event for the entire world. To think that the most potent nation in the world couldn't protect New York. Well, we know that it were a fake. We know that it were all garbage. You know, NORAD was stood down, everything. It were all a complete con. However, in that trauma, on the back of that, we ended up reforming all our systems, chasing phantoms and ghosts in caves around Afghanistan. They changed the entire format of law on domestic. We got the Contingency Act. The US got the Patriot Act, which has forever expanded the definition of what a terrorist is. This is what they do on the back of these trauma rituals. And it works, and I can see now clearly that that's exactly what they're setting up today in Trump. Trump, for all we know about him, everything he said, everything he claims he's standing for, and everything he's going to move to do, I would say is in sync with the real essence of the Christ within us. Your own personal Jesus, as it were. And of course, there's another Jesus, another idea of a Christ that comes from two churches, the Roman Church and the Eastern Church. They have a completely different idea of what Jesus is and Christ is. Their idea is you can only reach that through them, an intermediary, a bank, another fucking bank. So, interesting when you start to look at the data we know about the Antichrist, what the Antichrist is, etc., etc. Well, in the real terminology of what the Antichrist is, it would be the entire raft of nonsense that we have shoved down our neck from the left, as we see it being shoved in now through Starmer and his Bolshevik bastards. You know, taking the money off the pensioners, giving $3 billion to the Ukraine, a massive money laundering pit. That's Bolshevism, ladies and gentlemen. That's the left. That is anti-Christ. However, the fact that the church, now run by the Jesuits, which means the crypto Jewish fraternities, who are those that call themselves Jews, but of course, clearly they don't follow the Torah, they follow the Talmud, the Zohar, so they're clearly not Jews. But they've chosen that form because the Talmud is so instituted within Judaism that they can get away with pretending that they are, when in fact they're the synagogue of Satan. So they're the group that move and form the left, or communism, which is what it is. The British Empire has been putting communism across the world, while to its own people, it's told them that they're fighting communism, when in fact they've been installing it everywhere, because that is the New World Order, with fascism mixed in. So it's the jackboot and Bolshevism. It's sort of the left and the right as they come together. It's going to be a perfect mix. But the overall thesis that we're going to suffer, or people are going to suffer, the world's going to suffer, would be seen as Bolshevism or communism. So that's the ultimate aim. And the aim in that respect means that capitalism has to be disappeared. Or the right, as we call it, has to disappear. Now, didn't Jesus say, cast your net to the right? Now he's talking about your energy to the right side of your brain. That's where you'll catch fish. The left, it's all relating to the logic of your genetic survival. And of course, all your energies are screwed up in the lower three. The prime ritual in that respect, as a trauma ritual, is circumcision. Because as a baby, the first trauma that they receive is aimed right on the sexual organ. so that for the rest of their life, every time they become excited, that trauma kicks in, because that's the memory that's embedded in the subconscious relative to the energies that come through sexual excitement for the male. That's the trauma ritual. That's what it is. So born into those cultures that do that, you're obviously in your last period or whatever, were in that arena anyway, and so naturally then you would have been born straight back into it in order to heal. So it's all trauma. Everything that this satanic system does is based in the achievements that they gain through your trauma. And as I said before, it's irrelevant what you've suffered. It doesn't matter in the sense that it's in the past. If you cannot heal or cleanse yourself of the anger, the hatred, through seeking the knowledge that will free you from the bondage of those events, you cannot heal. And if you can't heal, you can't cleanse that action that the trauma rituals and events of your life have forced into your subconscious. It's impossible to do that. You can fight it out there all day with bombs and bullets and your fists and your mouth. You can do that all day because there's millions and millions of other people out there in the same position who will happily oppose you just because it's an argument. But if you're really getting into the game properly, you have to remove that trauma by cleansing and healing. That's the way it works. And if you can't do that, then you're not going to heal. And the cause of all your problems, as much as you might project it on the outside, it's him, it's her, it's that, it's this, it's blah, 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 blah. You're just looking at the actions of these other people in the same mix as you, traumatized. When if you were to focus that energy on self, not to appraise yourself and big yourself up like you're some kind of masterful, fantastic, but to understand your own situation. Why does this pattern keep repeating? Why, no matter what you do, you come back to the same thing? Because there's a pattern that's been embedded in your world through trauma. And of course, some you've pulled in from your previous experiences. So it's not all everything that's happened to you here. And you might have had a very pleasant life growing up. But if there's things to be dealt with, you're no more better armed for the things that you need to learn than the other side to that equation, where people would think, well, I didn't get born with a silver spoon. What I'm saying is, the portion of your life, your experiences, are preordained. And my guess is we have a play in that as well, before we come. This is why we drink from the cup of forgetfulness. We have a part to play in the decisions of to what it is we want to experience while we're in this time, in order we can learn what we need to learn or achieve what it is we're here to achieve. Cleansing, healing is what it's about. So trauma is the game down here. That is the game. And this is another global trauma event in the making. And so the church system, which is everything left, but it's also controlling the right. However, out there in La Land, everybody's dealing with these personas that are played out in this act. You're either one side or you're the other side. Because you're still crippled by your own trauma. And you've chosen a group to join because they probably have similar traits of trauma to you. So you can be left, you can be right, etc. You know? That's the way. You can be male, you can be female, and now they're allowing you to be whatever the fuck you want. You can be a frog if you want. Which is fine in your own little world. Just don't try and expect me to believe you or accept it, because I won't. It's not my business to help you continue in your mental illness. It's not my job. It's not my job to care whether you're offended or not. If you're offended, that's your essence offended, not me. I'm not offended. And this is what I like about freedom. You have a right to be offended. And I have the right not to give two fucks whether you're offended or not. And that's basically the premise from which I operate. So I couldn't care less who's offended. Good for you. Fuck off and be offended. Because I'm not interested. And if you want to keep being offended and you want to make it worse, I might smack you in the nose. And then you're going to be doubly offended. That's what I'm saying. If somebody's offended, well, that's on them. It's on them, unless you're going out of your way to torture people. And, you know, if you get physical, then we have rules that say, no, you can't go to that point. But if somebody's offended on something you say, or you're not agreeing with him, or you're not playing the game, you're offending me. Because you're trying to make me as stupid as you. And so don't let them twist it around. But the fact that this churchism game, now completely in opposition to anything that you would afford to the man that they base themselves as the representative of, they're going to claim everything that Trump said is anti-Christ because it's the anti-churchism. It's anti to that. And the fruitcakes will believe it. And now when you get into this anti-Christ thing, it lasts an X amount of time. 7.5 years, I think. So whether the first 4 years are included in that, and this is Trump's game, they're going to class Trump as the Antichrist. Now, he is in the sense that he's feigning this, it's an act, because they're trying to pour out what's the real essence of what the message is trying to give you about how you should be, the kind of behaviours, the kind of aims you should be aiming for, which Trump presented beautifully in his inauguration. 2 sexes, 2 genders. That's a fact. You couldn't, you'd something seriously wrong with you if you even for a second think, oh no, you might not be right. That he's absolutely right. Biologically, you've either got a cock or a fanny, and that determines the sex of your biology. What you like in your mind is fine. You can be whichever you want. You have that capacity, masculine and feminine. The ideal is to balance it. And the old adage is, know the masculine, but exist through the feminine, because it's a more gentle energy. You're going to have better opportunities for good relations with people if you're not running around terrifying everybody all the time, like the uber masculine tends to do. Or fear, basically. That's it. It's just fear. You must obey me or I'll kick your ass. That's because he's getting that across, because he's scared. And he needs to know that you're not going to be a threat. That's the way it goes in most cases. So you can be what you want in your own mind. That's fine. But biologically, there's only 2. And it goes right through the entire animal system, the plant system, everything. You can't get away from it. So what Trump said there is going to offend all sorts of fruitcakes. But ultimately, it's reality. It's in tune with the inner logos, or Christ, Christos, as it really means. Your source, your spiritual, the balanced spiritual energy from which we're all sourced, you might say, logos. Because that's what the Christos is. Not this fellow with sandals on running around who's going to come back, even though the church says there's no such thing as reincarnation. Try and work that one out, you fruitcakes. You know, if that's what you're holding to. Anyway, so in essence, Trump has put up everything that you would call in sync with, but it's not in sync with church's idea of what Christ is. It's anti-Christ, and that's what they're going to put him out as when they knock him off. Now, it's what happens after that that's going to be more important than what happens in this period in which he's going to enact his stuff. Now, I'm seeing contrary things in his stuff already. The fact that he's surrounded himself with Zion, for a start, is garbage. He's already announced he's putting shitloads of money into AI. The beast itself, he's tied in with Elon Musk. A little boy that did super evil when he was a little baby, and from what I see, he's not changed a bit. He's lying his tits off about Mars. Trump spoke about Mars, whereas JFK was speaking about the moon. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, you can see that they give you what they know is sensible, but then they keep putting out these fantasies. We're going to go to Mars. You're not going to fucking Mars, Donald. Alright? You're not going to Mars. End of fucking story. Stop being a fruit bat. Stop fibbing. So it's not about the personage, is like we'll say. Not about the man. It is about the personage, let's say. Because he's being duplicitous. He's presenting everything that's good so that they can knock it off. And in that trauma after that, nobody's going to be able to do anything about it because they're traumatised. And in they'll come. There'll probably be war. That's when they'll amalgamate all the cryptocurrencies between nations. And that's where they'll get it in. You want rations? You've got to have the game. Otherwise, piss off. It's perfect if you think about it. I put a thing up the other day on the Facebook. Very interesting chat with a guy who presented certain parts of it like that. That the fact that when he looks at it, they're 5 years away at the moment from actually having a global cryptocurrency system or digital currency because the nations are not together on it. They're all off on their own little separate thing. And as he said, rightly so, like it always is the case, they could speed that up, that process, if they had some major catastrophe. And war has always been that catastrophe. It's always played itself that way. So why are they going to change? They're not going to change because they're not the brightest on the old tree. They just get away with it because, unfortunately, the majority of the populations are way below even that. And that's why it works. You're fixed into one belief system or another and you're just stuck. You can't see beyond your nose. Or your foreskin, if you've got one. And it's like, you can see that that's what they're doing. So on the one hand, he's giving you the Christ energy, but really he's duplicitous, so we know he's playing a role. But in essence, they want to throw that up to the top so that the real monster, the Bolshevik system, can come in and say, we told you what happens if you try and do this. If you don't want to play out with the WHO, if you don't want immigrants, the numpties, the prisoners, the psychopaths, if you don't want them dumped on your country, see what happens when you go against what we want, because Jesus said, the Jesus. I hope I've made sense in there, because it's a twisty-turny thing, but it makes perfect sense to me. Now, I don't know whether I've managed to get it across to you. If not, it's my bad. But you can see the twisty game, the game that's playing out here now. And so everybody's going to go with Trump. You've got Elon Musk trying to kick it off in Germany. You've got him here kicking it off in UK. But you know in UK what he's going to be. They're going to bring Tommy the Tit out. Oh, the superhero. And the fruitcakes are going to fall for it. They've already preset the game. Now they just have to kick it in. And you're already all going, oh, Tommy. Tommy's been in fucking Tenerife, living it up, getting all your money. Pretending that he's going to fucking court. I mean, he might go to court, but he's not going to fucking jail. The reason why they put him in solitary confinement is so nobody else in prisons can tell you that he's not in. Like all these dead celebrities, they're not fucking dead. They're just shifting persona to something else. They've had enough of that. Or Intel said, right, you're not doing that anymore, you're doing this. There's enough information out there to show you that these celebrities don't die. Elvis, John Lennon, they don't die. Some of them do, let's not make any bones about it. But the majority of them, they don't. They shift into another intelligence persona and operation. And the degree to which they can do plastic surgery today is beyond. It's beyond belief, except they can't change the structure of the face, the bone structure, and certain marks that you might find that you can see are very similar. If not the same, they're very, very similar. Enough to put reasonable doubt on the fact that they're not actually the same person in another role. So that's what I'm seeing here with this Trump malarkey. They are about, or have just set off, another huge global trauma ritual. And now the key to that would be, from this point on, to recognise that that's what this is. And that at some point down the line, their intention is to cut it off at the neck completely and put you into trauma. Now, if you were ready for that, they can play the game, but you wouldn't be put into trauma. And now that would be very dangerous for them, for the game. The entire ritual, which is huge. They've been talking about it for 1,000 years, remember? It's a huge ritual, this. And it will only work if you guys are fooled. So if you're seeing this game and believing in Donald Trump, believing he is the be-all and end-all, and he's just, and not recognising his garbage side that he's doing, then you're going to be traumatised. And it's your own fault. But because you're stupid and you're traumatised, they're going to get the next ritual in, which is shove whatever they're going to shove down our necks for this one world system. You can see it. You can see it. So like I said, it's the trauma ritual's begun, and this is a great ritual, and everybody's involved in it. You're going to give it your thoughts, you're going to cock a wink at it. Lots of people are going to move in that direction. But it is a ritual. And the more power you give it, the bigger the ritual. However, to completely annihilate that ritual, all you need to do is keep in mind that at some point it's going to get cut off. And if you know that that's going to happen, you are not going to be traumatised. And they won't have such an easy time shoving down your neck whatever they're going to try and shove down your neck. So that'll be my caution in relation to what's just happened on the 20th of January 2025. So everything he said was fantastic, but we know he's not. We know he's a player. And we'll have a look at some images in a minute just to show you. They're all friends. They're all in it playing the role. Every single one of them. They're all debauched. They're all perverted. They're just actors. And as long as you guys out there see them as real, because you believe in it, you believe in the system, you believe these people are out there for your benefit, the game works. The act becomes a hit. It's a blockbuster movie. You know, Mel Gibson, complete arsehole. Sylvester Stallone's in it. Just so that they can get you all to think that Epstein and all that he represented is being thrown out of Hollywood, and in comes the better guys that you all loved because they were heroes in all the films they played in the 80s. And, by the way, they're not right keen on the old Jews. You know, and Trump. There you got Trump now. They're all his best mate. Musk is funding Gibson. These are the things you've got to not miss. You've not got to block them, edit this stuff out of your viz. You've got to see it. Because when you see it both, it causes a bit of a conflict, and you know you can't mitigate it. You can't make it, you can't settle it one way or the other. The only way to settle it is to go, it's a game. It's a game, it's a movie with a twist. But even movies and Coronation Street and people think it's real. They know it's not real, but they get so engrossed in it. They think it's real because it's more exciting. Their lives in the soaps are more exciting than their own. So they're involved. They're nosy. They're nosy like they do with the neighbours. Oh, what's going on there? Oh, did you know what's going on? It's basically what's happening. You're so bored. You've sown nothing about you. You've sown nothing because you've done nothing. You've done nothing to heal yourself. You've settled into a nice comfy position. Oh, look what I've got. Well, at least I've got this, and at least I'm not on the street. Well, it might come. Unless you jump on this digital currency for the one world order that they're pulling in after this trauma plays out, and boom, everything gets shifted in. Now, I don't think the kick-off point is going to be between Russia and America. You never know, but I think they've annihilated the breadbasket now in the Ukraine. It's a done deal. They've pretty much completely wrecked it. they've laundered more money through there to arm all these terrorist organisations that are part of the empire than you can imagine. Save me, Afghanistan with all the hardware they left them. You know, the terrorism now is armed, it's got its money flowing, the black ops are flowing, the private mercenary forces are earning just ridiculous amounts of money. They're now built, they're now well funded, and they've got every bit of hardware they could possibly need. So the game is set now. They've got all these cartels, all these Romanians, all these gangs from across Eastern Europe, run by the Holy See families, by the way, which I forgot, didn't I? I didn't pull it out. But I have gone through this on a live stream. I went through each of these families and showed you which cartels they actually operate. I can't remember which live stream it was. But the Albanians, the same, which seem to be a big part of what they've shoved in here. These people are now so well funded through such as Ukraine because of the laundering and the dishing out of the money's everywhere. 3 billion, he's just said, he's sending me 6 billion. This little Bolshevik prick that were rinsed by Jimmy Savile. This guy's perverse beyond redemption. The guy's sick. And who that spastic woman is, Reeves, is it? She is just demented. I mean, have you seen her do? Looks like a Stepford wife got on acid. It's just so ridiculous. But you voted it in. People out there, you believe in the system and you believe they do get rid of this bunch of shits and put this bunch of shits in. Something's going to change because everything they say when they're talking is not telling fibs. Well, everything they say is a fib. Everything they talk, every time they open their mouth, it's a lie. It's a lie. Because it's a stepping stone game to one particular end. And this is just massive. This is huge, what's just happened this week. So I suppose in one respect, in the US, the more the Americans back Trump to speed up his game, to get it in place, so that these new changes are in, then when they do cut the head off, there's enough people involved in this new change that this ritual, this sadistic ritual that they're going to play out, won't be able to force its will because you'll have set the systems. So I'd say to the Americans, back Trump every step of the way. Every step of the way, give it everything you want, but make sure you're putting yourselves in the positions of power, not letting them put these Zionist shits in. That's another trick that you're going to have to watch, you in America. Go for it. But put yourselves, American people that are not Zionists, who are not stupid, not thick, and they represent America. Make sure you get the positions of power. You know, the sheriffs, the heads of the councils, in the judiciary, in the everything. You need to get normal Americans in there. Keep your eyes out for Trump on this claim of changing things and putting Zionists in the positions of power. Because if that's all they actually need to achieve, to ensure whatever changes are made in whatever time frame they've given, 3.5 years, I would think, if you go with the sort of the narrative of it, it wouldn't be captured. But if they get their men in, it's captured. And then whatever it is they're coming after, they'll make sure that happens. And they'll be able to cut it off. So it's a game. And it's a game that only works for them if you don't know the stuff that I've just discussed. And I'm telling you straight, that is breaking the spell before it really gets going. Whether you can see it, whether you've got the capacity to know that that's what's happening, and that you'll work together as Americans with that in mind, you've got to stop these Zionists taking over. We've had generals. Why do we keep having Israeli generals visiting here? Whilst Armor's running around claiming to be almost Muslim. It's a trap. It's a big trap. Everything's just a trap. It's a game. Because it doesn't matter what system's in, there's a bank at the top of whatever system they're playing. There's a bank. And all the bank's interested in is securities and money. And your energy to obey it. So we keep getting visited by Israeli generals. Well, these generals should be being arrested. Shouldn't they? Really? But no, uber Muslim lover Starmer, that he pretends to be, is discussing politics, future business, with Israeli generals. What's all that about? And so it is really important. I mean, are they going against something like 80 people that are blocking stuff that this shower of shit want to push forward within your own party? You lost your party with Tony Blair. And if you think you've ever had it back since, you're dreaming. Like the Tories lost their party the minute Thatcher had gone. It divided into Eurosceptics and spastics. And through a guy called Eddie Beckoff, they captured them both. The Eurosceptics created UKIP and massaged the other massive that were left, as David Cameron made clear in his 2010 conference speech just before they took power. Eddie Beckoff, if it wasn't for him, he said, there would be no Conservative Party. Yet Eddie Beckoff were completely and utterly in control of UKIP. That's Nigel Farage. So they're setting up the scene. We've got reform here. Now reform should be peopled by Englishmen. And if reform were peopled by Englishmen, then you could take the energy that's being afforded and offered from this fantasy act that's going on from the US. However, if you make sure it's English people in the positions of power in reform, then when they cut their head off and the game wants to come in and they want to shove in this shit, it'd be Englishmen saying, no, I don't think so. Piss off. Good try, but no thank you. So if you can see the game as it's playing, everything depends on them putting in their men, their bitches, into all these positions that are going to be created on the back of all the sensibility that Donald Trump has presented to us as his mandate for his 4-year term, even though we know he's also going to try and make it so that he can do a 3rd term. Now, on that basis, you can have as many terms as you want, me old China. Just as long as you're not shoving your shit Zionists in all our positions of power. Because that's where the kicker will come. That's where you'll all be able to see it as time moves forward. That you're being blocked as an American, as an English patriot, from these positions that are actually pulling the levers in all the things that are going to happen by some shitbag from Russia, from Israel, or some European shithole that has pogroms or such. You know, Genghis Khan connected Asiatics. It's so simple when you can see the game. But then it's not so simple if you're stuck in the game. I've just talking out my ass for people that are... Because there's so many changes you have to make in yourself, you're just not going to be able to bag it. But if the real sensible people in America, here in England, in Scotland and in Wales, I'm sure about the Welsh, but that's the game that's playing. You make sure that you're in them positions of power. So you join reform. You be reform. You be it before these tits take it over for themselves and you're just doing what you're told. Going pub. Take a part. You've got to. If you're going to play in this game, you've got to really take part. You've got to be meaningful in what you're doing. Keep your eyes open and don't shh when you can see shit going on. It's the shh, see no, hear no, speak no. That's the mantra of the satanic system. That's how it works. Shh. And what else have they got? Polite society. Well, fuck polite society, you hoity-toity pricks. Fuck it. Polite society is not talking politics, is it? It's letting the freaks carry on with their little secret games. So if you're going to play this game from now on this trumpet gig, which I suggest everybody does, because from what he said, anybody that doesn't agree with it is an asshole. And they deserve nothing. apart from making sure they're not in any positions of power. They don't have any wealth just to throw around because they're subverting. You know what I mean? And that's based on character. I'm not interested in culture, I'm not interested in colour, I'm not interested in where you come from. It's character. And if you're subversive, as Trump said, you're going to be rounded up and fucked off. That's the way it is. That's the way it has to be. If you're subversive, if you've been robbing the system, if you've built everything you've got on robbery, that's a proceed of crime. And that's where these mosques are going to come into major trouble. If after this traumatic event, the Bolsheviks get to shove it in more. That's where, if they get that, then there's no proceeds of crime. It's a risk that they're prepared to take. But if what I've just suggested is that English become reform, Americans become what Trump represents, then everything that's been going on in this last, 60 years is criminal activity. It's subversion. It's sedition. It's treason. Proceeds of crime. Take the fucking lot back. That's simplicity. That's piss easy politics for super intelligent people. And let's face it, it's super intelligent people that we need in our political system, not these sheep that have been programmed through the schools, through mentors, through these various NLP courses, plethoras of them. They're not even humans. They're below monster, for God's sake. They're just automatons. And they're just good at picking their head out, talking as soon as they see a camera. That's it. That's all they do. And as long as you see them as what's going on in the background with the real levers of power, you're civil servants. They don't do voting, they're just there forever. Your secret societies, no high judges, 21st degree, Prussian Knights, Scottish Rite, Freemasonry. There's your chief inspectors, there's your inspectors in the police, there's all your PCCs, there's all your CEOs of your councils, there's all your MPs, all working for the no high judge. You need to remove them. You need to remove them. And you're not going to get the baby boomer out of Freemasonry, I can tell you that now. They're too selfish. They don't know enough. They don't know enough. And they're out. And because they still hold the wealth, they think they don't have to because, well, look, my grandmaster said. Okay. So there's no easy way out of here apart from you guys getting stuck in. Become reform. Make sure you're controlling reform. America. Take America. Be America. And make sure that whatever Trump sets up, you don't have these shitheads in the leading positions of power. So that would be my take on the speech. We'll have a look at it in a bit anyway, and I've got JFK's up as well. But I've also got the piece up of JFK. You see, because everything he did, JFK, as he were moving into his administration, were just further putting him in sync with the inner Logos or the inner Christ in all of us. How can you not? But then, when you're not just seeing it properly, and they cut it off, there's the trauma. And it knocks you all out of action for quite a long time. 9/11 the same. Look what they did after 9/11. A huge trauma event. And they're getting to the point now where that trauma event is finished. It no longer holds the power it did. They need a new one. They desperately now need a new global traumatic event. Now, there's potential for a faked up nuclear conflagration. Iran, China, that fruit bat down there in Milikowski, or Nagu, yeah, that fella. Because you have not heard much about him for a bit, have you? They've kept him quiet like he's gone away or something. He hasn't gone away. He's very, very busy. He's a very, very naughty boy, and so are all his boyfriends and girlfriends. They're still at it. And this ceasefire that Trump hit the Green Conspiracy is claiming to be, is nothing other fucking swords, and just killed the shitload today. Why are they still in Lebanon? There's a ceasefire on, isn't there? None of the Gazans are allowed to go back. Well, that's good, but don't bring them here. There's a reason why Egypt won't take them. That's because they're all psychos. You know, they're all kids of trauma. Yeah, I don't know. It's sad, really, because on the one hand, you don't want to be singling out cultures and ideologies, but at the end of the day, you don't have a choice. Everything has to be put on the table. It's down to you as an individual. Who are you? Who are you? And what is it that you profess? What do you put your energy behind? You know? And I have to treat everybody as grown up in that respect. And so I understand some of the things I say might be upsetting for some folk, but do you know what? I don't care. If you don't like it, if you can't cope with what I say, don't come on here. We're not here to preach to children or infants or persons. You know what I'm saying? This is a flesh and blood channel, and we talk flesh and blood, wise wisdom, and nothing else. And we don't have 50 billion views. We don't have a super studio. It's just little old me, St. Jimmy, and a keyboard. And that's it. And these keyboards here as well. So I'll have a look at who's here, and then we'll just have a shindig through some of the stuff I've put together today. But it's, I mean, I don't know whether you've all listened to Trump's speech, but it's so fucking fantastic what he said. It can only be a trauma ritual in the making, because it makes so much sense. So, Benefactor says hello to you, Sean, and all of us in the old Wise Asylum. Evening, Benefactor. Gary says, love from Ireland. Love you all. Love back to Ireland, Gary. Paul says, good evening, Sean and fellow inmates of the Wise Asylum. Evening to you, Paul. Slipknot says, alright, Sean, alright, everyone. Evening, Slipknot. Lone Rizzler, evening all. Mike says, evening all. Evening, Mike. Evening, Lone Rizzler. Ulick, hey, Sean and chat. Hello, Ulick. Jane Elliott says, evening, Sean and crew. Evening to you, Nick. Happy Sunday, hi to all. Happy Sunday to you, Nick. Me, did you watch the melee and Trump did to WEF? Did you watch the melee? And Trump. Did you watch what? No, I haven't really been watching anything. I mean, to be honest, I've just been letting that inauguration swim in my mind all week while doing my law, doing my grafting. So no, I've not really paid attention to the wider thing. I probably will in time, but go on, what happened, me? Tell us all about it. Nick says, looking good, Sean. Well, thank you. I think it's the light, you know. I've not put that one on. I've just thought, well, we'll try it with this a little bit there. And so thanks for that, lads. I'm feeling good, honestly. I'm telling you. I'm not joking, chaps. So what was it? Two and a bit weeks I've been on that. It's good stuff. It perks you up. I've even not been taking my Shilajit. Though it doesn't do what Shilajit does. That morning glory is not going down as much as it does with Shilajit. So if you have to morning glory, get plenty of that shit down, you know. But this stuff for energy, just making you feel all round okay, I like it. So, and I'm only 2.5 weeks in now. Apparently, you really start to see effects after a month. So, and it's, what is it? It's nicotinamide, riboside, and resveratrol. And it's supposed to boost the NAD. So we'll see. Like you say, I'll try everything. Like I've been buzzing with hydrogen peroxide all week. Because of course I was trying to get my mother on it. Now I don't know whether she's gone on it or not, but I thought, well, I'm going to test it. So I've been testing it in all different ways. And I've had no ill effects of it whatsoever. It's quite pleasant to swallow neat. I don't know what everybody's fussing about. It's only 12% anyway. But I've been trying all sorts to see if I can find a side effect. And I have no side effect that I've found yet. But it's only been a week, so we'll wait and see. But yeah. So thanks for that, Nick. Mew says, good morning, afternoon, evening, and welcome to the Sunday sermon, the Wise Asylum, or eat Sean, or eat Mew. Now, apparently, Mew, this week, people have not been able to ring either of my phones for some reason. Now, okay if it's one, but both of them, something a little bit dodgy there. So I don't know what happened on Thursday, but I assumed you were coming Thursday morning and I were ready. Not that it matters, dude. It doesn't matter. It's not a problem or anything. But we will get to it. But then I have got something I want to show you two guys as well when you come. Evening to you, Mew. Who would you prefer, Starmer or Trump? Well, this is what I'm saying. Trump, forget the man. Look at what he's saying. Look at what he said. That's exactly what everybody wants, because you're sensible. So that's what you want. I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's a lizard, alien, reptoid stands up and says it. If a reptoid stands up and says, I'm going to do this, I'll go, yeah, go for it, lad. I'm going to back it. But the important thing is, the game they're going to play is to install all their shits in the power position so that after, when they cut it off, it's worthless. You become reform. You get in it. Make sure. Don't fuck about. Don't let anything get up past your sight. Stop these Zionist shitbags from taking it over. Become reform here on England. Fuck Tommy the Tit. America. Become America's Trump. Don't let them put these shits in. Or it'll all be for naught. And the trauma, when they kick it off, will do exactly as it's done forever. Be wise as serpents. See the game, the trickery, the wizardry before it plays itself out. Because they've set a time period for this to be put together, but their main game is to make sure their men are in all the positions of power. And then it'll come to naught. Don't let that happen. Beat them at their own fucking game. Beat them at their own game. These fucking lizards or whatever they are. And I'm not a lizard, I've tried. I've told you before. It don't work. I can't shapeshift, so I'm definitely not a lizard. Reese is negative, I'm not a lizard. So definitely, everything that Trump's talking about, I'm going with that. Steinberg can kiss my fucking ass. He wants locking up him. Now, something else I was thinking about as well this week, because I've been watching Pennyworth again, and it's a long time since I watched it, but there's a part in Series 2 where Alistair Crowley comes into the mix. And obviously we all know, I mean, if you've studied Alistair Crowley, and you're not just get captivated by his persona as a magician and a Satanist and all that like it, which is what most people do. If you see right through and you can see the game, he was an intel asset on a huge scale. Now, in Pennyworth, the CIA approached him to set up a leader of a fantasy league in that script, sexually. So we see Epstein, and I know Epstein's only fronted what was the Maxwell network, but then you can trace it right back to 40s and 50s. Now, Alistair Crowley was the exact same thing as Epstein, a blackmailer, sexual blackmailing people to the will. So it's been going on since fucking 1800s. And obviously, he came out with something like it as though it was brand new with the satanic stuff. But it would have played itself before that. But obviously, after Theosophy and all the stuff that they launched, Crowley became that Epstein character in that side. And nobody sees it like that. So I thought I'd just put that out as well, because, yeah, definitely, that's exactly what we're going on. So this game of blackmail and sexual, especially through sexual blackmail, is just all the fucking time. So Trump is all the way the trumpet, but not fooled by the actor that he is. Let's be honest. But you counter that by becoming reform, by becoming the American system that's going to be created on his back. That way you beat him. The little tricks down the line ain't going to work. It's not going to work. And a year into it, they're going to start panicking because the game's not working. If you want to fight this war, you've got to fight it the way they're fighting it. And that's the way you'd fight this war right now. Exactly. I'll just give you Field Marshal fucking orders if you were smart. Okay, that's what a Field Marshal would be acting right now. Fuck Montgomery, he was a tosser anyway. I'm talking about proper fucking me, Field Marshal fucking life in the mix, fantastic and amazing. Yeah? That's the orders that I would be giving to every single fleabag under my command. And it'd win. So, take it as you will. You just have to accept that I am fucking good at that kind of shit. Because I can think like them fuckers, you know. I can think like them. You know what I mean? Where are we now? June says, good evening, Sean and chat. Evening, June. Nick, did you see how much Trump received with the Trump coin? I think it's bad from that, how much you got, and gloating about it. He's an actor. Remember this. He didn't get, nobody attempted to kill him. He didn't get shot in his fucking ear. It was a patch. He's not going to fucking Mars, and he's funding AI. He undermined himself. Oh, but only if you're wise and you see it. The bar sheep won't see it. Me says, got things to do. See you all soon. See you later, me. Slipknot says, JFK was a psyop. Of course he was. I mean, Miles Mathis is very clear that he doesn't believe that he died. And that the secret government that they were setting up in the 50s, this is. See, when they launched Roswell, on the back of that, this secret cabal, which of course was the Milner group, the Round Table group, the wankers that had took over England through being the war cabinet, they were shoving themselves into America. And the way they did it, I mean, this is when I was studying all the UFO stuff way back in the day. Because obviously I don't just fix to the fucking jingle jangle. I want to know who these people are that are in it. Who are they? What are they? Where they come from? And what societies they're involved in. That's what you call research. And that's when you start to see the game. Now, so you got Kissinger, you got all these shitbags working for the Milner Group or the Round Table Roads Round Table. And they were forming in this, in the fear of America, the trauma of it all. After fucking Yonmon did that on radio, what were they called? Orson Welles, when they did that, pretending they were an alien, Orson Welles. Invasion scared America to death. Another trauma ritual. You've got to understand that this trauma is this is the way they beat you. Because you're not prepared to heal. You never take the capacity to control you away. And it's all in you. Every power you need to deal with this is in you. So they got everybody excited in the US from the 40s with this alien invasion stuff. Bloody Hollywood's pumping out aliens left, right and fucking centre, Triffids and all this kind of stuff. Twilight, so everything's coming out. America's bombarded with all this aliens are coming to kick your head in, gov, and rape your bottom and prod you and stuff like that. So what they basically were going on were, once they got the military going on saying, oh, we're seeing these things, we don't know what the fuck to do with it, like people, obviously because they'd been stealing Third Reich science. So what they basically got the government to do, the real government of the United States, was to hand over power to this secret group, a secret hidden government, Kissinger and the Milner Group, Rhodes Round Table, these shits. So that JFK, when he launched everything that everybody agreed with, and then they were cutting it off for the trauma, that he became the secret leader for this secret government for his time. And that when they pretended Bobby'd been killed, that's when JFK had actually died and Bobby became the new secret leader for that underground hidden. Now, William Cooper, if you study, I mean, I don't know what kind of stuff's about for William Cooper these days. If his websites are still up, you've stand a chance. But my guess is because, of course, Alex Jones is sort of trying to overshadow and become Bill Cooper, which was his gig from the get-go. I don't know what's available from Bill Cooper. I used to have a lot of it on my websites that got took down, but never mind that. But studying Bill Cooper for all that time that I did, you get to see, because he were a naval intelligence guy. And he weren't shy about telling you. But he saw the fucking light. He realised what they were using him for. And he were cross. He were bloody cross. So that's where you can see the insight to this secret government, MJ12. All this stuff. Because when I started this, and in that mystery school, and so you've got two sides playing at you, trying to pull you to one side or the other. Well, all this other side, this darker side, MJ12 and all my fucking music companies were this. MJ12, Jupiter Record, all this, everything I was doing back then were this darker side of the mystery school as I were flipping between the two kind of thing. And I mean, yeah, I'm using all Kutumi and all the fucking theosophical script I were incorporating into what I were doing. And so I were aware of all this stuff. You know, I'd done a lot of fucking Jason crew and all these Jason, whatever it's called. All that stuff I've been pumped into me like bum, 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 bum. But like I said, I'd seen through it early on. And that and in and of itself were enough for me to not get trapped by the nonsense of it. It doesn't mean I weren't picking it up, because you're going through these fucking castles, you know what I mean? And you're determining where you're going to be by the time you come out of this castle. Not to blag it, but by definition of your actions, where you actually really are in yourself. So I was well fucking versed in all this stuff. But they were creating a secret government. And they had it well formed by the 50s. I can't remember at what point they actually got the government to go with it. But they basically handed power over to, we could call it a federal government rather than the real American government. And that JFK, when he changed persona, faked his death, became the leader of that. When he actually died, they had to feign Bobby's death, who then took it over the leadership of MJ12 with the Jason Society, whatever they were called. And that's the play that went on with the Kennedys as actors. But that's not what's really important at this point. What I'm trying to get across is the fact that the trauma ritual in and of itself was the aim of the game. And of course, in that trauma, they could take over the rest of the government, the departments, the sort of state legislature, you know what I'm saying, on the back of the trauma that happened. And when people realise, oh my God, we're the most powerful nation on the planet, but there's something even more powerful. And there's where your George Bush Senior were involved in all that. CIA. CIA is, of course, fucking Jesuits. So they are in its entirety. The majority of CIA are Catholic. You know, this is the game. This is the fucking game. And so they are going to do it again. This is what this is. And the Antichrist game is mixed in with this, you see. So the pinnacle of this whole fucking last 1,000 years of garbage is playing itself out right now. You are now living in the time of all the fear and garbage you've had stuff down your neck from Yabig on this religious script stuff. But how many of you get it? How many of you see it for what it is? Well, if you're taking your shit from out there, you're not seeing it. You're in touch with your inner self, your real self, the inner kingdom father. You're rocking and fucking rolling. You're rocking and rolling. And the Holy Spirit is the proper one, not this garbage shitbag like you get at Alpha. Oh, I'm saved. No, you're a fucking fruitcake. Anyway, that's enough of that bashing folk. JFK was a psyop, says Slipknot. You fucking damn right you were, mate. I'll put that report up if I can find it under this from Miles. Nick, Bitcoin is the way to go. BVS. Do you want to send me one, Nick? ME says BSV is digital currency, not crypto. Well, I have to be honest, guys, and to be truthful, I'm not really savvy with all that malarkey. But I'm getting there. I'm not doing the things I used to do anymore, so my mind's not fixed to that shit. And I'm shifting into something that, and I'm getting excited about all this malarkey. So, I mean, anybody want to private message me on any of my other systems, and I'll present to you something I'm looking at the moment. It's interesting. I'll not say it on air, but I'll if you're into all this finance and banking and all this malarkey, I'll send you something I'm looking at, and you can give me your input as well. Right, where are we? Me says we get deceived by many. Only if you're stupid. Me. Cos says 1973, shaky hand and the gig's on. Hello, Cos, good evening to you. Jerry says, John 10, 1, 18. Say it, lad. Give it to us. Present it on here for us. I hate Trump. you like WEF, or if you hate Trump. Well, he's fucking WEF anyway. Jerry says, hey Sean and all in the Wise Asylum, evening class, laughing and clapping. That's alright, how you do, Jerry? Remember, we're nearly in February, what do they call it? Any being late in his detention. Apple won't suffice. Alright, Bitcoins only. Otherwise, you're going into detention and I'm going to send you some lines. So you've not got long there to be on time, guys. And I'll tell, well, I am headmaster, so I can't tell headmaster, can I? What am I saying? Hello, Jerry. Look at Maley and Trump WEF. Okay, I can't do it now, can I? I can't do it now, can I? We're in the asylum here. Only thing that matters is what we are going to do. Absolutely. Benefact says, me, it's all a show. Yeah. Nick, it's a wild scripted ghost train roller coaster. Yeah, it is. Positivity wins, rather. Jerry says, then we should avoid all these wave cycles made for our physical eyes. Phi cycles, the spikes of which we get caught in. Yeah, the fucking eyes are going to deceive you all day, and your lugs. Especially with this shit they've got playing with now, CGI and AI. I mean, this AI is getting a bit ridiculous, folks. I mean, when people started going on it, and like, oh, come and look at me, I don't fucking want AI in me stuff, thanks. Yeah, but fucking nothing. Fuck off, I'm not interested in your AI. The more people that go on it, the more important it becomes. I don't know. Yeah, we're in it now, says Nick. Yeah, we are. The Antichrist era, absolutely. Warning signs, V for Vendetta. One of the chief commanders wanted to friend me on my Facebook, but I looked at his thing, it was only like 5 days old. I thought, what? What's his coppers? Police bobbies? Like them fire stick men. The fire stick men keep trying to get on my thing. Why when it's illegal would you be running around with a fire stick fucking man image and trying to attach yourself to folk on Facebook? Because you're a fucking copper, you fucking numpties. I mean, fuck off. You think I'm that fucking stupid? Fireman stick, fuck off. The horizontal and vertical rule and between is the X, says Benefactor. Jerry, it's not Mars, it's Greenland. Well, yeah. Which is not as big as you think, and it's, yeah. It's somewhat strange about Greenland, there always has been. The Thule Society, the Thule Society, were formed in there, and they played a big part in the occult side of the Third Reich. By golly. Them bloody Vikings, I don't know. 1984, 11 billionaires in the cabinet, go figure. Is it really? I saw something interesting the other day. I didn't actually put it on my Facebook, because I don't think people appreciate it, but where it shows over like 30 years and it goes through different scenarios and bar graph shit. And there were one about billionaires in countries. And obviously the United States wipes the floor with everybody. And then you see China going up. And then the UK started to dwindle down until 2020. And then all of a sudden UK is back up to third billionaires in the nation. And I thought, I wonder how they managed that. Was it because they suckered fucking idiots that the UK has become into playing the game? You're damn right. So they made shitloads of billionaires, or billionaires shifted in to sucker UK. I mean, I'm ashamed of the fact. I'm ashamed of Englishmen. I am, because it's just so pathetic. And Generation X, you bunch of fucking tossers. And I know we grew up looking after ourselves and not getting involved in stuff we didn't need to get involved in because it was safe. Fair dues, I get it. But for fuck's sake, can you not fucking see that it's time you got off your fat fucking ass and started getting bothered and started remembering what we were like in the 80s? We didn't eat shit off any fucker, did we? We caused fucking ruptions. We caused fucking wars over it. You know what I'm saying? Get a fucking grip, Gen X, you're pathetic. That's my generation, by the way, you know what I'm saying? So I'm allowed to call you fucking names, you puffs. Just all you have to do is come back, 80s mindset, fuck it, there'll be no fucking freaks left here. They'll leave the self. Come on. Jerry says, it's where they've gotten all the moist photos after all. Well, I think a lot of it's, is it Arizona? So they seem to be playing out with that as well. But yeah, Greenland, yeah, possibly. Fucking moist. I mean, how can these people be so stupid? Honestly, it's just, I don't fucking know. 1984, Protocols of Lord El Zion, absolutely. I had a great piece on them. I've gone through each one and give it my own take on it, Breaking Spells, years ago. I can't find it anymore, so I don't know where I've got it, but I've written in the old websites, and it were a real good one, because it just broke all the spells of it, basically. But if you want to break the spell of the Learners, Elders of Zion, just look back at 20th century. Everything in them fucking protocols were carried out in 20th century. Every bit of it. And continuing to today. And they make it very clear that this Antichrist figure is just a puppet. It's the elders at the back, the Noahide fucking fruit shakes that are running the show. He's just a front gig. Slipknot says they can put Joe Chin and cheat implant in. Fair dues, mate. I mean, I do know you're a bit of an expert on that. So yeah, I'm seeing that that's definitely a big part of what they do. 1984 says Tommy the Zionist. Absolutely. And they're going to pull him out from, oh, Tommy's been in prison. It's fucking terrible. You don't put prisoners into fucking solitary confinement if they're not violent, crazy fuckers. No, they have to do that so that no prisoners can come out and go, well, Tommy Robinson working hours. You might get the odd celebrity that said, well, I went to visit him. Like they did with fucking Yon Mom, what the fuck's it called? Assange. Oh, everybody went to visit. Fucking weren't in prison. Fucking hell. And then they come out looking like Jesus every now and again, you know what I mean? Oh, I'm sorry, look, I'm being crucified. Fuck off. But it works. It fucking works. So Tommy the Tit's going to be pulled out in a bit and going, you're not fucking hero. The guy's a fucking little shitbag. He's a shitbag that took the fucking bait when he were in BMP. Go to Nick Griffin. Look at his work. He'll tell you. There's an interview out where Nick Griffin explains exactly what happened and why Tommy became the EDL. Zionist cash. Zionist fucking publishing. Zionist promotion. And that's to get you to kick off against Muslims. That's what it's about. That's what it's about. But I'm not so sure Muslims, most of them that live here are not waking the fuck up. I'm pretty sure a lot of them are. They're not all fucking stupid, you know. These fucking dicks that they're bringing in from fucking Timbuktu, they're fucking numpties. You know what you're talking to them fuckers, but the ones that have been lived here for what, 60 years and grown up here, they're not all fucking stupid. Mew says the article from Miles Mathis you put up on Lennon was very convincing about Lennon being alive and pretending to be an actor playing the part of John Lennon in Let Him Be film, yeah. And as soon as Miles put that up and the film was almost finished, it disappeared and we never seen again. A lot of people don't like Miles Mathis. They think he just sees Jews everywhere, but like anything, whomever you're looking at, me included, don't take everything we say verbatim. If it interests you, check it out for yourself. So that you see the picture, not just taking it verbatim. That way, none of us are fucking it up. None of us are making mistakes. And we're getting it right. You know what I mean? Usually says, fools. Oh, they're fucking, there's worse words than that. I'm sure. That flicked up quick. Where are we? Slipknot says, Trump at some point will say enough is enough. It's all in the script. Well, we'll see. Let's see what happens. Trump's son Barron is to look. Yeah, he's a strange looking fucker, isn't he? And apparently I wonder what they're doing with him. He's got a role. Let's put it that way. So yeah, I agree with that. Barron took the smile off Biden's face. Okay. Jerry says balls in the rotten court. Yeah. Mew, Sean said, look out for the princes around the world. If Trump is King Cyrus, Barron is a prince. Yep, exactly. Benefactor, not only American, also English shall work together. And the fucking Germans. I mean, it's about time Germans stop feeling guilty over being set up back then in that day. It's not your guilt, lads. And, you know, if Europe's never been anything without the Germans. The Germans are the fucking movers. They're the ones that make things happen. You know what I'm saying? And without the Germans, that's why Europe's been fucked since 45. The Germans need to get back on board. And the English need to stop fucking pretending that everything that happened in the Second World War was the Germans' fault. When all the programming came from fucking London. That's baby boomers. You see, the baby boomers are a major problem. They're so fucked, so selfish, so self-righteous. You're just never going to get past them. They're fucking numpties, really. So I just hope a lot of them took this vaccine. So when they switch it on... But honestly, they're the problem. They're the fucking problem. They still believe everything that's garbage. They went to the fucking moon. They won the fucking war. The Germans were evil. Blah, 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 fucking blah. It's so ridiculous. It's fucking outrageous. But the Germans, the Austrians, the Dutch, the French, if there's any fucking French left. Spanish, if there's any Spanish left. There's more cancer in Spain than anywhere else in fucking Europe. Which I was surprised to learn about. So whatever's been going on in Spain for the last 20 years... He's been killing the Spanish. It's about time we all started to go, fuck this fucking, we all hate each other. We're losing out to fucking subcultures here, and we need to fucking sort it out, chaps. And the Germans are the movers. You can't do fuck all, anything in the world without the Germans getting behind it. And the reason why America's so bad was because fucking half the fucking ancestry for America is German. Use your love. Lose your fucking love. Yeah, Americans, English, everybody, we need to work together. Become whatever's being set up by this trumpet. You become it. You control it. Own it. Don't let these shits take it. And that will beat them. And you can, if that starts to happen, within a year, they'll shit themselves. And they may force them to do something stupid. Like, do something that they're not ready to do. And more people can get to see. You've got to fight them on their own terms. You can put as much vigour and violence into something as you want. But if you're fighting it down here, and they're fighting it up here, you're just fucking kicking the shins. You're kicking the fucking shins. You've got to come up to where they are and go, fuck off. And what I've given you tonight is that. When it gets took up or not, well, I know I'm fucking ace, so what the fuck. What are we? Ulick gets a rugby ball. And yeah, Regan, St. Helens, I mean, fuck's sake, you like fucking warring still, you do eat your rugby, you're all tapped. You're all fucking mental. But you're not scarces, are you? You're fucking more on par. We're all Britons, so less likely to be sucking in by Vatican. Jerry says, Israel Embassy left Ireland. Has it? Well, I'm not so fucking surprised. They've poured a load of fucking shank bags in, haven't they? When did that happen? PY Music, good evening. You're fucking late. What's going on? Disgusting. And you've only got till February and then it's detention. Paul. No, behave yourself. Mew says, I'm mod. Yeah, we've got a mod. So, evening, Paul. Benefactor, the king is dead. Let's crown Sean. Well, I once said to a mate of mine, who were like in spin cabinet at Blur, spin me to king and prime minister. And he said, that's not how it works. I said, I know. So I've tried that. I know we're on Daily Telegraph putting that, and everybody used to agree I should be king and prime minister. But it don't fucking work. It didn't work. Martin says, here is Sean, it'll be reformed to reset. Well, that's it. But as long as we're fucking reformed, and not these shitbags, it'll reset. And everything Trump said is correct. Everything. I don't care who it upsets. I don't care who it hurts. If you're here illegal, fuck off. You're going to have a problem. If you've raped our system, and you're still trying to use that money that you've raped to subvert this system, fuck off, you've got problems. It's that simple. We don't care what bank you're furnishing. It's not an excuse. It's called treason. It's called sedition. Yep, we don't like it. And the law of England says, Don't let anyone tell you what to do, says me, exactly. Unless it's Mrs. Because you might get in trouble, you might get your bum smacked. The Untouchable says Ulick. 100% Ulick says Jerry. Mew, yes, Minister showed us back in the 80s. Yeah, it did. What about us, says me. Is that a song? Jerry says, oh, natives, they are part of the nativity. Does that put them back into the nursery cot? I don't tell anything. I say, look for yourself, see with one's own eyes. Yeah, Jerry says, where did you order that big box of stuff? I don't know. I didn't do it. I don't buy it online. A friend does it. Roos Research. Just bang that ink devil. Bang that ink devil and then click enter and see what comes up. Reschedule when you're ready. No worries, mate. That says mute. Okay. Only ask the question, who do you prefer, Starmer or Trump? Simple. Well, fucking Starmer can kiss my rebel ass. The fucking Jimmy Savile rinsed prick. Jimmy Savile's vagina. That's what he wore as a kid. And see it? He's fucked. You can see it. There's nothing there. The guy's simpleton. He's a simpleton. Jane says, me rude. Me rude? Are you being rude? Why do I keep getting porn on my Facebook? What's that all about? Fucking porn comes up. And it's like, and it's hardcore porn on my Facebook. Like, what the fuck? So Jerry says, there's still some decent stuff out there of Bill. Oh, we're talking Bill Turner. He's back on, he's Bill. I'm reading the article on JFK from Malshon on the War of the Worlds thing this week. It was the green lasers in the LA Post vids that reminded me of the aliens from Mars. Yeah. Right, send me that link with you to me face it for JFK, Miles. Mew, because it'll save me going through his gig. Because I know it's from quite a while ago. And I'll put that under this video. So you can send us that by messenger when you have a bit of time, mate. Just a link for it. Thanks, bud. MJ12, yeah. I mean, fuck me. All my music stuff. In fact, I've been burning quite a lot of stuff, old stuff, going through some of my stuff that I haven't looked at for like 10 years. All my fucking gears there from back in the day, all my copywritten stuff and all my fucking letterheads. I had the Mitsudomo as my symbol. MJ12 and Majestic 12 publishing and fucking Jupiter recording. I'm like, okay, now. Jeez, you know, which memories it brought back were phenomenal. So I've been burning it all. If I've got some left, I'll fetch you. I'll show you next week the kind of stuff I were doing in the 90s. But I was loaded up with that stuff, fucking loaded up with it all. But I saw right through it, which of course they didn't want me to do, but fuck them. What is the most important thing to you at the present? You mean me personally or in what's going on in the world? Well, I'll tell you now, what I said to you early on in this video is the most important thing that's been spoken on the internet this year. I'll tell you that now. Now, we were right to tight and they had a suit on and our, you know, mics in front of me with BBC and fucking NBC. It might get somewhere. But people are thick, aren't they? They're not the rightest. I mean, I've got a doctorate. I am Dr. fucking Sean of the Wise Asylum. I've got a doctorate. But I don't use it. But I have a doctorate. Shall I put it on my wall? I'll stick it on my fucking wall for you if you want. I am Dr. fucking Sean, actually. So, you know what I'm saying? I just don't have to keep swanking, do I? Because I'm feral and uncouth and I don't give a shit anyway. I'm from fucking North. We're not trying to pretend to be something. It's half like they are. Anyway, so what's the most important thing to me at present? That I've just said. Well, like I said, I'm in like a bit of a intermediary thing. I don't know what's I don't know what's... There's a few things I'm playing with, like the Muse, but a lot less of the investigative stuff. It just doesn't seem to interest me anymore. I can't bring myself to do that. But the law is the most important. I would have to say, physically at the moment, it's this law coming to understanding it fully. The reversion. Escaping from hell, basically, but properly. Not because you blanked it, but real. Not because you've joined a secret fucking society. To really remove yourself from hell and place yourself from a position of heaven. And that's the reversion. So that's probably the most, if I'm truthful, that's the most important thing. And it has been for quite a long time now. But it was always just a sideliney thing. Now it's become the be-all and end-all. And everything else now has become sideline. Now I will be glad when I can get back into prepping the live stream in the week, rather than just mad panic on a Sunday afternoon. Because they are a bit more presentable when I've put a bit of time and effort in, I have to say. So, but then, if you want presentation over content and gobshitting, then you're not really. You probably shouldn't be in the Wise Asylum. So that's the most important thing at the minute for me. Public notice says, "No me mate." Is that code? Alexander Milicevic says, "Evening Sean, evening all, still alive, major psyop, open. Sorry, in Serbia." Oh, what's going on there, Alexander, and welcome. You need to keep us updated on this, me old China. I mean, look, anybody out there in Serbia, if you're writing reports about what's going on, just send it to me. I'll put it straight on the website. That website's there and it still exists. I just don't do what I used to do with it, which is spend 24/7 building it. But any reporting information, anything in Serbia, anywhere in the world that you don't know what to do with, send it to me and I will publish it on my website, which is in Switzerland. So unless you break Swiss law, UK Stormer Fanny Shagger can't get at it. It's got fuck all to do with him. So Alexander, anything that's going on, if you know writers, get it to me and I'll publish it. Evening, Alexander. Jerry says, "I have to be honest, stick crypto up your Yahoo fighting against cashless and push crypto." Fuck that, cash. Cash is what you want. Cash, gold, silver. Public notice. Can only give me my time. Mention crypto 3 times or read crypto. Can only give my time. Mention crypto 3 times or read crypto. Okay. Apologies that I'm not directing that crypto comment at you guys. Well, we don't care anyway. You can casual. Public notice says, remember the Wombles. I do. Charming Anarchist. Stay strong in Serbia, Alex. Evening, Charming Anarchist. Yeah, look, anybody, you got any reporting, you just send it to me. I'm a publisher. I will publish it. Send me any image you want. Send me a report, any images you want, where you want the images placed. Yeah, you can sign it off as your own report if you want, or you can be anonymous and I'll just publish it as me. Whatever you want, that's what I do, publish. So there is your opportunity, anything. And just contact me by Yahoo and I'll give you my Proton. And then it's a bit more private. But anybody out there in these countries where you're getting shafted, send me your data. I will publish it. I don't give a shit what we publish. I mean, we're not talking porn and filth. Real, on the ground, guts of what's going on, get it sent. As long as it's not fantasy. You know what I'm saying? Where are we there? So yeah, the Womble. That is not X, it is Stylish Aleph. Whoop. Public notice, for I am now millionaire. Oh yeah? Oh, send me a Bitcoin. Don't make you happy. Elon's X to be exact, said Alexander. So you're saying this is not X, it is Stylish Aleph. He's a strange character, that Elon. Having some land near to a river does, yeah, exactly. That's what you need, yeah. Thanks to crypto. Well, that's great. I mean, if you're making off it, that's fucking great. As I said, I don't really know much enough, but I'm starting to learn about it. Alexander says, Serbia's corrupted and occupied. Got myself a no-high judge looking me. People got revenued from 3 minutes ago. Revenued? What do you mean, bud? Jerry says, my brother was in Austria at Christmas, said it's dripping with wealth. Jerry says, thanks Sean, I'll check that stuff out, no problem mate. Bill Cooper, Turner's back. Unfortunately, Cooper can't. Just sent it, thanks mate. Nice shirt, thanks cos. I thought I'd splash out a bit and make an effort. It weren't fucking cheap, but it is, I have to say, it's definitely a lot better than the Daz Lee Cooper. Thanks for that, mate. Public says, twiddles my toes and twiddles my fingers and they're coming to take me away. Alexander says, I can't use my email anymore, hijacked, and my phone has been targeted by Pegasus. All right. We'll do that for sure somehow, already wrote it. Brilliant, yeah. So, if I can do this. I'll not put my Proton on here, but if you send me just connect on there and I'll send you my Proton, and then it's a bit more secure because everybody and his monkey is on that laugh in the mix. I've had it since like 2008. I got it checked out before by an IT guy. He says, fucking hell, he said, don't put anything important on that one, they're all on it. We'll do that, yeah. Send him, not me. Alexander, 200 pages with photos. Brilliant, Alexander. So, where are we now? 1 hour with, oh my word, I can yammer on. Well, anyway, what I have done, we don't need to go through his inauguration speech because you've all seen it. So we'll knock that off. But I'll put it up underneath anyway. Now, JFK's, this is one of his, hang on. Better do that first, haven't I? This is an interesting gig. This is what JFK was saying. I appreciate very much generous invitation for you tonight. You bear every responsibility these days, and an article I read some time ago reminded me of how particularly heavily the burdens of present-day events bear upon your profession. You may remember that in 1851 the New York Herald Tribune, under the sponsorship and publishing of Horace Greeley, employed as its London correspondent an obscure journalist by the name of Karl Marx. We are told that foreign correspondent Marx stood broke, and with a family ill and undernourished constantly appealed to Greeley and managing editor Charles Dana for an increase in his munificent salary of £5 per instalment, a salary which he and Engels ungratefully labelled as the lousiest petty bourgeois cheating. Now Engels, of course, had mills in Lancashire and employed children. So this idea that they were skinned, Engels were fucking loaded. But when all his financial appeals were refused, Mark looks around for other means of livelihood and fame. Am I looking at something wrong here? No. But when all his financial appeals were refused, Marx looked around for other means of livelihood and fame, eventually terminated his relationship with the Tribune and devoting his talents full-time to the cause that would bequeath the world the seeds of Leninism, Stalinism, revolution and the Cold War. If only his capitalist New York newspaper had treated him more kindly, if only Marx had remained a foreign correspondent, history might have been different, and I hope all publishers will bear this lesson in mind the next time they receive a poverty-stricken appeal for a small increase in the expense account from an obscure newspaper man. I have selected this as the title of my remarks tonight, The President and the Press. Some may suggest this would be more naturally worded, the President versus the Press, but those are not my sentiments tonight. It's true, however, that when a well-known diplomat from another country demanded recently that our State Department repudiate certain newspaper attacks on his colleague, it was unnecessary for us to reply that this administration was not responsible for the press, for the press had already made it clear that it was not reasonable for this administration. Nevertheless, my purpose here tonight is not to deliver the usual assault on the so-called one-party press. On the contrary, In recent months, I have rarely heard any complaints about political bias in the press except for a few Republicans. Nor is it my purpose tonight to discuss or defend the televising of presidential press conferences. I think it is highly beneficial to have some 20 million Americans regularly sit in on these conferences to observe, if I may say so, the incisive and intelligent and courteous qualities displayed by your Washington correspondents. Nor finally are these remarks intended to examine the proper degree of privacy which the press should allow to any president and his family. In the last few months, your White House reporters and photographers have been attending church services regularly. That has surely done them no harm. Now, I think I may have put the wrong one up. I've put the bloody wrong one up. Oh. I was supposed to put the one up from Secret Society, unless it's further down. No, I have definitely put the wrong one up. Oh, for goodness sake. So I'll put that up anyway, so you can see. President, good grief, yeah, so it's my fault, sorry, boys. I've obviously clicked the wrong link and put that link. Alright, so I'll put that up anyway, but it will take you into more of John F. Kennedy's stuff. What a complete lunatic. And I don't want you to forget as well that this guy was responsible for Trump getting in back in the day. And this is a strange fella, Robert Mercer, because he was funding everybody. Everybody. Obama. But he was the one that pulled out Trump. There's just so much nonsense. When you look at it, you can see that they're just all actors, is basically what I'm saying. They are just actors. But there's a clever game playing out here. And it really is another trauma ritual that they're playing at. Steve Bannon, this video is private. That guy's been on my Facebook as well of late. I wonder why. Why would Steve Bannon be looking on my little old face ache? So, there's no point doing that because of... what have I got here? Oh, yeah, now... So I've put together both inauguration speeches, and look, they're both operating under the gold fringe flag, which is Admiralty. Okay, so both of them, for all the rhetoric, the goodness and all sorts, they're both speaking on behalf of the empire. On the one hand they're speaking against the empire, but there they are speaking for the empire. So, is the empire against itself, or are we to think there's two sides in the empire, the white hats and the black hats, and the that's really going on? Well, I'd say that's only for public consumption. That's all that is. And I did put together, so these are just some images. I might have to actually speed them up a bit, but so apparently Trump comes from this line from King Haakon V of Norway, which I thought were rather interesting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to... Can you hear me, by the way? Because I thought I'd just test some air, and I don't know whether that's too loud or not, but I'm just testing some air so that I can get a feel for how this works. So I'm going to shorten these videos somewhat so that they don't take as long. Why has that gone back to the beginning? It should be there, isn't it? Yeah, there is. Unless it went back to the beginning because I started it again, it's possible. And again, and then John Stuart, 3rd Earl of Lennox, Elizabeth Stuart. Now again, you're back to the Stuarts. Remember the Lennox, they are Camilla's line as well. And there you've got Trump with Prince Carlo, the Duke of Castro, and his family at Mar-a-Lago. Now this is all the Seat family. Yeah? That is an Holy Seat family, that. So, it's just a big club. But they probably want us to see it as two sides. We're seeing it. He's very involved. He's with every celebrity you can imagine. So he's a handler for so many celebrities, this guy. I can't remember his first name, but he's in the Holy See gallery that I've got up there. There's Trump back in the day, and he's in the company of Prince Twat Faggot there that wants to kill everybody and come back as a virus. What a lovely chap. Who let us know in his speech that they've got a lot of ideas for depopulation. There's the pretend Pope pretending not to be happy at the trumpet. She looks like a doll, doesn't she? Alright. Like a bit of a doll. She's a strange girl. And then there you go on left. Oh, here you go. This is the annual ball that they all attend. Big Catholic thing. And Trump's attended it with his father since he was a kid. And there they are. They're all in it together. Look. Bessie mates. Who that guy is in middle. That's I can't remember his name. He's a very important and powerful representative of the Jesuit Vatican system there in the US. And this dinner is every year. Look, they're fucking best mates. Playing with his cock. He looks a bit fat and jumpy there, doesn't he, Trump? That's it. It's a bit odd there. Definitely looks odd. Oh, there he is, Uncle Tony. How was that man managed to keep himself alive for this long? How many babies has he had? And if you go with all that, I don't know, he's done that, of course, being facetious. But, oh look, there's that, they don't hate each other, they don't. They're busy mates. He's an odd character in that Obama. He just looks weird. Like an Arthur kind of character, isn't he? Oh look! Trump dressing up all fancy. What's that all about? And that is at Epstein's island there, I believe. Epstein Island full collection, so. And you've got UFO there, the ultimate pervert with tunnels all over the shops. At Diddy's estate, and a lot of it, all tunneled in. She looks a little bit better there, does Melania? Is it Melania Trump? She looks a little bit better. There, look, you've got Robert Maxwell there. He's the guy that handed over the, well, he didn't after he died, it went to Lex Wexner, who then put Epstein as a front, whereas Ghislaine was actually the controller of the network on behalf of Lex Wexner. Then you've got Trump again with Maxwell, so he's been well embedded in these perverted networks. And there he is with Long Face himself. He's a strange looking fella and all, isn't he? What a long head he's got. He's a weird, bloody weird fella. And Ghislaine and Long Face. And I'm only showing you these to show that actually, you know, it's just a big game. It's just a game. They're all best mates. They're all playing their part. Oh, old Eddie there. A young Eddie. Randy Eddie. Andy. Not Eddie. And Epstein in the back there. He went on my face ache as well for a few weeks. When I was piffling about with Katie's story. Epstein again. Don't know who the blondie is. I don't know who anybody else is, to be honest. Just so embedded in it. Oh, look, there we get Naomi Campbell. She's a strange creature as well. From what's coming out with all this digital stuff. Not that I've been watching it for a while, because it is just a diversion. And look at there. Look at there. The bumshagger himself. The didster. He's a fucking fella, and again, the didster. Oh look, he's got a crown on. Bottom right. Oh, does he think he's a king? Eh, bless. Oh. Oh, billionaires calls you up to Trump, 7-figure inauguration, donation, past feuds with the incoming president. Front men. Billionaire apostles rallying to the leader. Trump calls for anti-Israel leftist groups to be banned from American universities. Now, you said you were bringing free speech back to America, Donald, in your inauguration. So what's that mean, exactly? We're going to terminate the green new scam. Good for you. We aren't creating energy, green plants, create sources of energy instead of playing this game. The wind is ruining everything, killing all your birds, destroying the fields. It's a green scam. Good. But that's going against the New World Order, isn't it? Alert, President Trump has just sent out a presidential message. 72 hours until all hell breaks loose. Not sure when that comes from. I think it was before his inauguration, actually. I just collect images as I go through. Trump says he wants to clean out Gaza as he restarts policy to give Israel new bombs. Okay. You see how he undermines himself here. Trump wants Jordan and Egypt to accept more Palestinian refugees. Floats plan to clean out Gaza. Is it America first or Israel first? Even as Elon Musk and Sam Altman make swipes at each other on social media, they're united in their fealty to Trump. It's a bad sign for both US politics and US business, says Bloomberg. Undoing the worst abuse of DEI while helping the nations heal, the still open scar of race requires more consideration and surgical precision than what President Trump's order provides. President Trump used to have a base, now he has a battle between average Joes and tech bros. Trump will find it not easy being king. Millionaire. Breaking. President of Colombia, Gustavo Petro, denies entry of American planes carrying illegal aliens who originated from Colombia. The US cannot treat Colombian migrants as criminals. Well, he can't, they are fucking criminals, you sad prick. Mass deportations will happen every day for 4 years, and the numbers will grow. Trump's borders are says good. Fucking good. We need to be doing that here without any recourse. And if countries won't let them, just drop them off with parachutes. Trump's border czar says there's a clear message for undocumented migrants. If you're in the country legally, you've got a problem. But that has to include the documents that the police have been giving them. As Pam Bondi awaits confirmation as the next US Attorney General, intern officials are moving to wipe out Biden-era politics. Look at that shield up there at the front. Interesting. Trump talks free speech while moving to Muslim goals he disagrees with. I have to say, that's a little bit of a contradiction there, Donald. I don't know what you're playing at. Unless, proposed constitutional amendment would allow Trump to serve a third term as president. Well, he did sort of hint at that, didn't he, during his campaign, that once he were in, there would be no more elections. And I'm thinking, Trump's AI declaration, reminiscent of JK's pledge to put a man on the moon. Former White House IT official. Well, he was also bigging up the Moors, weren't he? Obviously Elon stuck that up his bottom. Donald Trump's praise for the largest AI infrastructure project in history shows he grasps the potential of the technology, but so does the rest of the world, and most of all, China. How certain are you that you are truly fighting for God? What if our thirst for righteous justice has been twisted into the devil's weapon? Which is exactly what I suggested to you in the beginning of this live stream. Greeted with loud cheers, Elon Musk virtually delivered a short speech Saturday at a rally for the far-right alternative for Germany, where he urged the crowd to not be ashamed of their country's history. Germans need to come out of the shell. Trump names Mel Gibson, John Voight and Sylvester Stallone as ambassadors to Hollywood. Fuck's sake. It's a good job I changed to fucking Born Legacy, innit? Fucking hell. Donald Trump is set to bring back a bill from 1869 which allows him to make Great Britain the States of America. This will mean United Kingdom will live under America's rule. Well, anything over this shitbag here on the fucking left. Give yourselves vagina. Trump administration wants regime change in the UK. As Starmer replaces Trudeau as hate figure. How can you not hate him though? Look at him. Look at the state of that. He's not even put his tie up properly, the scruff. Trump expected to make decision on Lloyd Mandelson as ambassador this week. Don't do it, mate. Don't do it. You do that, oh, it's another undermining. That's Jakob's best mate. Farage will help reform to beat Tories. As far as told together, Elon Musk will help reform win over union voters because he is an absolute ego figure. Reform is an increasingly plausible alternative to the Conservative Party. Yes, as long as it's you and we, the English, that become it. Take it over and make sure these Johnny-come-latelys can't take it over and take the positions of power. What do you reckon, chaps? I think that's the way we're going to have to move, to be honest. Public Nose says, this is what appeals to me, not the nose. Must be magic cabbage oil in their capsules. It's nearly a year. It's nearly a year since I jacked the magic cabbage. What do you reckon? A year, my golly. 35 years over. And it's nearly a year. My goodness. Sounds perfect, says Moo. Cheers, Moo. Good. Grabbing the pussy again. Alexander says, Melania is from Slovenia, is she? She doesn't look right happy. She didn't look right happy during his last administration with some of the things that were going on. It's hard to work out whether she's just a beard, you know what I mean? What? I don't know, I don't get it. It's hard to work that out, I don't really know anything about her. And I certainly wouldn't want to be attacking his wife or daughter even, because they're not the president. But I'm not attacking Trump, I'm just putting you straight. They're actors, you know they're actors, and everything he's saying is fantastic. It's amazing stuff. But you have to be it. Everything that they do, make sure it's Americans, make sure it's English, make sure it's Germans, French, Dutch, Austrians, and ad infinitum. Even Welsh. And even you jocks, you Aggie shaggers. Right. Gary Garcia, Cardinal Timothy Dolan. Thanks for that, Gary. Jerry says, and she is of the Medici line as well. Is she really? Oh, I've not seen that. Slipknot says, All High Waist Club. Well, I never looked at that, mate. Alexander says, I think that her family is from Bosnia. Your reaction to Trump's leaving the WHO? Fucking go on there. You can see that, that's the thing. Everything he's doing is exactly what we all want to hear, but it's not going to happen because that's not the New World Order. That's not what the New World Order wants. Trump's New World Order, they're going to cut it off. It's a trauma ritual. That's what it is. That's what it is. But you break that ritual now from the get-go. You know that's what's happening, but you fucking move with it. You become everything he's created in America. You take over reform and be fucking come reform on the back of the energy that's coming out of America. So that when they cut it off and they take it, America's got America, we've got England. Fuck you, all they see. America and England are back to where they started. Fuck off. Fuck you lot, you bunch of Johnny-come-fucking-latelys. We're our own fucking niggers. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. And that's how you have to play this game. And if you can't see that, you're a pussy, you're a coward, you're useless, you're shit, and you've got no fucking ambition, and then no business being here in the Wise Asylum. That's all I have to say. So come on, America, come on, fucking England, fuck Tommy the Tit, and anybody else that's fucked and enamoured by the Zionist clique, because they're no hides, they're nicking your estate. Remember this. Everything is about stealing your inheritance from the Heavenly Father. Your land right, your land dominion right. That's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. You're not going to be the friend. They're not going to like you and love you. You're going to be decapitated. Title. Your reaction to Trump, yeah. No pictures of him and the gates of hell. Well, you fucking gates of hell. Anybody that can't see what that penis is all about, you're thick. I'm not even going to entertain that tit. Martin says, have you done anything on David Wynne Miller, the creator? Yeah. I've not actually done anything on him, but I studied it back in the day. Yeah, but it was pretty obvious to me it was a Masonic initiation thing. I mean, you can get a little bit too fucking crazy on this. I mean, quantum, the use of the word quantum does my head in. It's just a measure. It means measure. And people use it like, oh, it's quantum science, it's fucking quantum this, and it's like, do you really fucking not know what the word means, you fucking dumbasses? It's just measurement. It's not a thing as such. I am a little bit... But yeah, I listened to it. Some of it I like, but it goes a little bit too exciting. And the judges don't fucking use it. The judiciary don't fucking use it. So why would you? You know, I mean, I don't use of if I can help it. Because it means away from. But again, they use it all the fucking time. So, but there's certain parts, you know, certain things that I don't use if I can stay away from it. But sometimes it's not easy to not use that word. You have to change the whole structure of the sentence. Do the old schools see? Some, but most no, they're just fucked. I mean, they were the baby boomer generation that was brought up sucking the tit. Right up through their entire life. That's why they're embedded in the NHS. That's why they're obsessed with pension. That's why they were obsessed with retiring at 50 and selling out the fucking nation and then blaming everybody else, the offspring. Keeping all the cash, joining secret fucking societies, getting told what to do and pretty much knocking themselves off and out of the game. That's the baby boomer generation, unfortunately. And one day when they die, they're going to go, shit. And you know what? There's no coming back from that, you penis. And you're going to have to look at what you've done to your offspring and go, oh my fucking God. Because if your offspring followed you verbatim because they thought you were great and really you were a dick. This is where honour thy mother and father. That doesn't mean copy your mum and dad if they're fucking numpties. You're not honouring them there, are you? You're becoming a numpty. You honour your mother and father by A, putting them fucking straight. And if they don't want to be put straight, letting them fucking go. Because you're going to change the fucking line. They couldn't be asked to break the chain. You're going to do that. That's honouring your father and mother. Now, if you want to get esoteric, that's honouring your heavenly father and your spiritual mother, the Holy Spirit. Or nature, even. Are you with me? But you're certainly not honouring your mother and father if they're thick as pig shit and you're obeying and copying. Oh, yeah. No. But anyway. But do the old school. You must do. You must do. Are you calling me old school? I'm fucking 22. What are you talking about? Next month. In fact, it's my birthday in a bit. It's my birthday in a couple of weeks, I'm 22 teen. And if anybody does say different, you're barred. You're barred from the wise asylum. Alexander says, while importing Pakistanians. Well, they're empire. Their entire country belongs to the empire. They created. The empire created Pakistan. It was India. It got nicked. And they slaughtered each other to fuck on the backing of the British Empire. Gandhi played his role. What was the other guy called? I can't remember his name. Both of them educated you. Can't Candy were a complete and utter fucking deception. Public notice says C, yeah. Public notice always C, yeah. 3. Public notice, that's the newspaper, wow. Martin says, Mandelson got caught smuggling a 15-year-old boy into the country, but does anybody care? They voted him. Oh, leave me alone, leave me, get Boris out. Boris were a fucking shag ass anyway. If you didn't know that before he started, yeah, they're all perverts, all of them. Perverts. Because, you see, they don't see themselves as perverts. It's normal to them. It's normal. But look, there's another thing. The Aborigines in Australia, they do it as normal. You go into any of these tribes in the jungles, they do it. It's more natural, if you want to call it natural, than our processed culture. They do it. It's a normal thing to them. We as a society, as in a culture, didn't think it were a good idea. And I don't think it's a good idea. I mean, look, I brought up 2 daughters and 2 sons. And I still cannot fucking fathom what is going on with somebody that even has the slightest inclination to see their offspring in that way. It doesn't fucking compute. There must be something seriously wrong with that person. And my guess is it's trauma or it's some kind of possession. Because I know sexual rape creates sexual energy and fear which these entities feed on. But I cannot understand, and I had a lot of trauma as a kid, but I've healed myself. Never, ever, ever can I compute why a father would have a slightest inclination to that, to the son or the daughter. It's beyond me. I can't get it. I don't get it. So when I look at this stuff, it's just beyond my fucking comprehension. What the fuck's gone wrong with these people that they do this? I can't get it. You know, I really can't get it. It's fucking ridiculous. To me, it's just fucking unreal. Jerry says, easily shown. Well, I've got lost there, me old China. What are your thoughts on Trump not swearing on the Bible? Did he not? Did he not? Because he's fucking Noahide, isn't he? That's your new Bible. That's your new fucking Bible, people. Remember, they create the new system way before it's implemented. After the war, it gets implemented. It's trauma, people. Do not let them beat you again. Do not let them beat you again. They hate England, they hate America because we went against the Holy See. And we offered freedom to our people. And people don't see that. Because they're fucking stupid. Well, it doesn't change the facts. And I'm not pretending England and America's perfect. But they were fucking alright until the Holy See got its fucking fingers back in. England first, and then in America. We didn't give a fuck about politics outside our own fucking lands. It's the empire. And they hate us because we said fuck off to the empire. And then the empire made us pay. And it's still making us pay. Don't let them beat us again. What are your thoughts on when 2016? Huh? Jerry says, I think mid-Feb you gave the cabbage up. Was it mid-Feb? So it's almost a year, isn't it? We're getting there. You remote viewer, says public notice. I've got a right connection, mate. Up there, right at top of the tree. I told you, I've seen where I've been sourced. I've seen it. I've seen where I am sourced. I know where I am outside of this simulacrum. I know where I'm from. I've seen it. I've seen it. Language changes, jurisdiction change. Keep it simple, not quantum. Exactly. You can get a little bit too excited with some of that stuff. Excellent class as usual, Sean, says Jerry. Thank you, Jerry. AMG, evening all. Apologies for being so late. I'll have to listen back to this one. You will indeed, AMG. How you doing, Dave? Where is the proof of what? Says I to me. Never boring, always fresh, Jerry. Pennies from heaven. I back order, says me. Kinky. AMG says, is me having a conversation with himself? He's off for it. It'll take him 2 minutes, does he, Dave? He's a right fucking good one. I bet you were a fucking bag of laughs, pal. You a troll, says me. Here we go. Alexander, what is Unidroit? It is the private law. It's a law in the private. Unidroit is private law and the UCC is the public law. So that's that, Alexander. It's the law for the private realm. So it's equally as important. Now, I think the USC might be important here now because of the Land Act having ended. But yet, I have to find, we don't know what they've done, what they're changing, and what that actually means just yet. But if you're actually in the private, the rules are Unidroit. And I have that up on my website. I'll put it up for you. Lauren Rizzler gives thumbs up to AMG. Proven fact, leave me alone, says me. Rizzler, says AM. We see, we live. Be nice. Psychopaths can't be nice. No, they can't. Unidroit would be from the Vatican II, I think, and it's like the UCC type contract. Yeah, it's the private law, my friends. Check out Lily Nova, says me. Never heard of that one. Send me a link, mucker. AMG, some good Sean ranting earlier. I've been ranting. I thought I was quite pleasant tonight, actually. And me is off. Get on with it, divide and conquers. He said, keeps telling me he's going and he goes back. AMG, and a classic one-liner from you, RC Jane. Me is so rude, talking to himself. And on that bombshell, ladies and gentlemen, have a good week. Getting close to spring and sunshine, away from this shit and piss. Food for thought there, ladies and gentlemen. But of course, if you're a fully fledged member of the Wise Asylum, you know it's not food for thought. You know exactly what I'm fucking saying, don't you? You know why I've said it. The onus is on us, ladies and gentlemen, and who knows what we're going to do. I just hope that whatever I decide to do, if it's out there in the public, that you guys are going to back it every step of the way. And with that, I shall say, have a good one, and I'll see you till the next time.
electronic